Good morning everyone. My name is Noltando Mukwena. I am the head of support at IT Varsity. I usually host what I normally call our Webinar Wednesday series for all our students, more especially our digital entrepreneurship students who are doing their certificates in the DE course. So we usually host these webinars every Wednesday at 11 a.m. sharp, where we are just promoting entrepreneurship. We're trying to shift the mindset from being an employee to becoming an employer, from having a side hustle to having like an actual business, right? So if you are new here, welcome. Please make sure that you do catch up on our previous series that are posted on our YouTube channel. So just go to YouTube and just search IT Varsity, start from the first episode so that you understand where we are and you're able to catch up. The videos are there for you guys to use, so just make sure that you guys are updated on YouTube. Share it, even if it's okay. The videos are public for everyone. So if you know anyone that's not part of IT Varsity but is an entrepreneur, share the links with them so that they are, it helps. We're not just focusing on our students, but I think for everyone, we're doing it for everyone as well. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a cousin to tell an uncle to watch those videos as well. Make sure that you do like, subscribe, and engage on our YouTube channel so that you guys are updated with what's going on in this webinar series. All right. So for the past few weeks, I've been talking about like entrepreneurship. We've been talking about how to make your brand unique. We talked about networking. We talked about how to have like an actual side hustle. And then I remember the webinar after that, we spoke about now shifting from having a side hustle to having an actual business. And we also spoke about having services or skills that you can outsource and how to making profit and income from those skills. So there's a lot that we chatted about. You guys were engaging on the chats. Thank you for that. So this week, for our webinar for today, we're just going to it's part of the mental health, because remember, behind an actual business, there's a person, right? There's an actual human being that runs the business, even if they're not there all the time. But it all begins. And so today's webinar session is one of my favorite topics. If you've watched my other webinars I've hosted from the previous years, I've been much and promoting mental health. So today's webinar is all about that. We are going to be talking about working smart, resting hard, and finding out the real secret to entrepreneurial success. Like I said, all our webinars are recorded. So if you're late to the session, please make sure that you catch up on YouTube. So I will do the webinar as per usual. And if there's anything I need from you, please write it on the chat section. There's a question. Please participate as much as we can, because this webinar is not just for me, but it's for everyone. So when I ask you a question, make sure that you just put it on the chat section, right? So grab a cup of coffee, some tea, anything. I feel good today, so I don't know about you, but let's get into it. First and foremost, before I start, thank you so much for making time. Just giving me an hour of your ears for so that we can have this beautiful webinar together. But yeah, I really do appreciate it. So welcome again to another IT Varsity entrepreneurship webinar. Today we're going to be talking about something that is not most often discussed, especially when it comes to the entrepreneurship journey. But so many of us do feel, even if you haven't started your own businesses, you are still thinking, oh, the one thing that we really don't talk about is burnout, right? So you don't have to be an actual entrepreneur. You can be somebody who's planning to take that route. And behind all of that, there's the planning, right? There's the sleepless nights. There's the thinking. Because remember, before you can even have an idea, there's so many ideas that you feel. Sometimes you just like leave this whole entrepreneurship journey and like, you know what, let me take a break from all of it. But then you realize, no, let me go. So those type of feelings and emotions involved, those up and down, trials and tribulations, and then they all result to burnout, right? Now, this is where your brain feels tired. I don't know if it happens to you guys, but I know it happens to me. Your brain feels tired, your motivation disappears, and I am a self-motivated person, but sometimes I really do not have the energy to even motivate myself. So now even the things that you really do love, they start feeling like chores, right? So it's that moment of, if you know you are a creative person, creativity just runs out of the window, shoop, and then it goes away. So that's what burnout feels like. So I don't know if you guys have lately been feeling that or anything, share it on the chat. So while I'm doing this presentation as well, please feel free to, if there's an opinion, it's a question, it's something that you also experienced, maybe this currently or previously, just share it with us and then I'll be able to read and share it with everyone. So now here's the truth about burnout, right? It just doesn't happen to overworked people, like successful people. It happens to also passionate people who care deeply about what they're doing or what they're about to start or what they're trying to build. Like I said, it doesn't happen to the most successful people. You can be a full-time student that's not pursuing any businesses, but you can actually feel burnout. You can actually crash out. I don't know. I most often don't use the word burnout. I use crash out, and I always say, oh my God, I am crashing out. So in this session, we are going to explore how to spot burnout, how to stop it and turn it into a breakthrough, right? So we first need to identify it and then see how we can stop it and then how we can actually now succeed after all those, hiccups. So number one, let's talk about the hidden cost of the hustle. So in our culture, or let me just say in this world, we glorify the hustle, the this thing of you hustle, you grind. No, they say the most successful people sleep 3 hours. So we promote that, we like, yes, as a successful business or as an entrepreneur, you shouldn't be sleeping more than 8 hours. And you're like, okay, for a person like me, I'm like, no, I can't. Like, if I sleep for less than 5 hours, I know the following day I'm gonna be so messy. I am gonna, it's just gonna be a bad day for me. So we live in a society that promotes this culture of grind, no sleep, always working, etc., etc., etc. But the real problem here is constant hustle kills creativity. Have you ever felt, I don't know, maybe has happened with you. This is like from my own personal experiences. I've had like more than 10 business ideas. And I love being innovative. I love thinking. I love thinking. I love thinking. I love brainstorming. I love ideas. I love just like using my brain so much to a point where it's just like, where does it stop? Right? And then because I'm always hustling, I sell this, I do this, I do this. Creativity just stops, right? Burnout does that for you. It kills the creativity. The focus is not there, and the emotional balance, guys, I don't even want to talk about it. So when you are exhausted, right, your brain loses its ability to make good decisions. That's true. And or to solve problems. Right? So if your brain is exhausted, your brain is like super tired, it's drained. You'll notice that sometimes you make the dumbest decisions. You are not even able to think properly to say, how can I actually solve this? When you normally are like fast paced, you're able to solve any other question or situations that you're in. But this time around, you're like, what do I need to do? Like, what's going on? You understand? So now your brain, I call it the brain freeze, the brain fog. I don't know. But it's a moment where you cannot access your best ideas. When you know that you are a person that's like, oh, you always have these ideas, you always know what to say, you always know what to do. But within that moment of feeling like you're crashing out, burnout, you're just like, I actually cannot. Remember, I said to you at the beginning, this feeling is felt by everyone. Whether you're a full-time student, a part-time student, you're doing both, you're balancing the life of studying and working as well, or you're pursuing your entrepreneurship journey. So burnout for me isn't a badge of honor, it's a signal, right? It's your body and mind saying you're doing too much without recovery. I always like, you see, when I'm like during examination and also at work, there's just like a lot of things. I get sick, and I don't get sick physically. Like I could tell you that I'm not okay. You'd be like, but you look good. You're okay. inside when I sleep, I could feel my heart beats so fast, and then I know it's my body like sending a signal to say you are exhausted. So I don't know whether you guys have also experienced that on the exterior you look good, but on the interior it's like, oh my god, and you feel like I'm going to die if I don't rest. Even if you are using your phone like 24/7, you're always on the screen. Sometimes my eyes send me these signals to say, like when I wake up, it's just like blurry. Now I understand that, you know what, I need to take a step back. So we mustn't look at it as like a badge of honor, feeling burnout and stuff. It's a signal your body needs some rest, right? So now let's do like a quick reflection on the chats. When was the last time you took a full day off without any, like no working, no studying, and you didn't feel guilty? Like when was the last time? It could be last month, this month. You haven't lately, just been busy. Just share it with me on the chat section. Let me answer for myself. I don't think because in October there was examinations, and obviously now it's November. I haven't taken a full day just to like, because every time when I feel like I'm not doing anything, I always feel guilty. So I just want to know, when have you taken like a full time out, completely no work, no studies, no thinking, and you didn't feel guilty? Or most of the time when you do that, same as me, you feel guilty. So I'll read it, right? Okay, let's see. I see Kibabete. Okay. Who She says, since I started with the F&B App Academy, I haven't had any break. I can't remember the last time I took a full day off. Maybe last year. That's Natalie. Thank you. In somebody says in February. Guys, you guys understand why today's session is so important. I also don't want to lie to you guys. I haven't had any day off. Like, I can't wait for festive season just to like, because before my exams, it was like studying. I had to study. So I've just been busy. I think from ever since in Feb, it's just been busy. Yusuf says, I haven't had any days off. Weekends are even busy. You guys then understand. So now let's look at the next step, which is recognizing the 3 stages of burnout, right? So this is very important. Thank you, guys. Just continue just writing on the chat. After that, I will read it for you. So the next step is we are going to be able to recognize the 3 stages of burnout. Because also, guys, the reason why we're doing this today is so that your entrepreneurship journey, you become a successful person, right? Because like I said, behind every successful business or journey or academic journey that you're going through, there's a human being behind it. So today we're just taking care of our mind, body, and soul. So most entrepreneurs don't just wake up burnt one day, right? No, they actually do. Sorry, they actually do. One day you wake up and you realize, I can't do this. And I think if I were to do a poll, like in the whole of South Africa, and ask the most successful business people if they've ever felt burnout, they will tell you most 90% of the time they feel burnout because they're constantly working, they're constantly grinding. And remember, I said that's the culture that we promote in South Africa, that you have to grind, 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 you don't have to sleep. So let's look at the 3 phases. First phase is what we call the overdrive phase. This here, you are saying yes to everything. Yes, yes, yes. You feel unstoppable. You skip breaks. You don't take lunch meals. It feels productive, but it is not sustainable, right? So even if you are an employee, they give you this task. Yes, you take this task. You take this task. You take this task, and you can't even say no. Right, so that's the overdrive phase. You are constantly working, working, and you feel like, oh, I'm being productive. I'm the best employee. I'm the most productive employee. But to tell you the truth, that's not very healthy, even as a business person. Because remember, when you're starting your journey, remember I said to you, you need to give before you can take. So you're constantly giving, 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 and it reaches to a point where it's like, and then when are you going to say no and rest and take some time off? Right? So you'll be able to see which phase are you in. Then secondly, we have the drain phase, which most of us, I think, have reading the comments, we went through this. Now, this is where you start losing focus. Because why? Your brain doesn't work. Your creativity dries up. You feel impatient and irritable. You're working long hours, but you're not producing your best work. Um, at a job, you are taking, remember I said, you're taking these tasks, you're taking this task to a point where somebody even calls your name to say, will tell you like, what? Because you feel drained, right? When there's a board meeting, you like, oh, maybe you're starting a new business, you realize that there's something now that you also need to do, some paperwork that you need to do, like, oh my God, when does it end? So that's the drain phase. Like you feel like your soul is empty. That's what I'm trying to say to you. And then lastly, we have what we call the crash phase. Now, this is where it ends. You feel numb and you feel exhausted. When you have to go to work, you're like, oh, when you have to open your laptop, you're like, oh my God, no, I don't want this life. And when you have to do something, it's like you feel so exhausted that even breathing is like a task. The inhaling and exhaling is just like a task. You start questioning your purpose and everything that you worked for, because is this worth it? You don't have to ask that question, right? It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't go that way. It shouldn't go downhill to say, is it all worth it? Because yes, it's all worth it. The reason why you started it's because you felt like it is worth it. So the crash phase is like, oh, no, I don't want to be part of this. Because why? You went through the overdrive phase, you went through the draining phase, and now you are on the crash phase where you feel like ending everything else. So if you see yourself in one of these stages that I've just mentioned, right? Please know it's not the end. It's feedback. Remember, I said it's your body sending signals to you to say, stop and just take care of me, because I am also human. I have my own functions. And I for myself, I get this experience where my heart like beats very fast. Even when I'm about to sleep, I could feel like my heart like it's beating fast. I'm like, I'm not nervous about anything. Why? That's when for me it's like I am exhausted, like I'm really, really tired. So it's very important that you are self-aware, that you know these signals that your body or your brain sends to you, and know that it's not the end, it's just feedback. It's time to change how you work, not whether you work or not. Right? So now that we've identified how to spot, remember we said we're going to spot burnout, we're going to stop it, and you are going to succeed. You're going to make a breakthrough from that whole burnout. So, number 3, now I'm going to give you the balance formula where you work best so that you can get the good results. So, you work, you rest, and you get the results, right? So, because you're able to identify the burnout stage. So, how do we build a life that has both ambition and peace? Because, guys, come on, who doesn't want to be a successful business owner, but working in the comfort of their own bed? You're having like a nice cup of coffee in the morning. You have a balcony, you have that pool, that sea breeze. Who doesn't wish for that? Even if it's not luxurious, but just like that moment of I'm a business owner, I have a business, but there's peace and tranquility, because there's no use of being the richest person in the world, but then there's no peace. You are constantly in and out of hospitals. Your brain doesn't even work now, because why? You've overused like your immune system, and like it's like cut now. So let's see how we can work, rest, and get the right results that we want, because I don't want you guys to give up because of something that you're feeling. Some people become, guys, some people become hospitalized, and I'm being for real. Some are being admitted to the psychiatric ward. They're not mentally okay because of they've exhausted everything in their bodies, and it honestly gets to that. I know people who were admitted to hospitals, like they're not okay. So that's why I said we live in such a sad society that promotes this thing of grinding no sleep, that it really gets hectic. And I always say, if you are healthy as an entrepreneur, you're able to make good decisions, smart decisions, you're always happy, you're jolly, creativity. Like I told you, I said, I love using my brain. I just love thinking. And I say to the people around me, I feel like I belong in the creative space because I love using my brain like all the time. So now let's look at the formula, right, that I created for you. So number one, work with intention, right? Work with intention. Stop confusing busyness with productivity. I used to suffer from that. I used to say, if I have like 2 hours of not doing anything, then I'm not being productive. No, that's that time for me to detox everything and just like take a breathe. Even a 30 minutes break. So we need to stop confusing business with productivity. We need to able to identify you being busy at that time and you being productive, because you can be busy but there's no productivity. So number one, start each day with selecting your top 3 priorities, right? Not a list of like 20 tasks to do in one day. Select the top 3 ones and then try the Pomodoro technique, which says 25 minutes of focused work followed by a 5-minute break. So it trains your brain to focus deeply, right? So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. Do an hour work and then take 25 minutes to rest and then continue and then that's why I do my job so well, because it's already planned. I don't think I think I have shared with you. I said I love working in a scheduled manner. So I know in the morning the top 3 things I have to do. It's always planned out on my notes. And then the sub things that I can do, but I always make sure I prioritize. Even if a break could mean me just logging on TikTok and just like watching and laughing and singing. That for me is more than enough, because that's a break, right? And then number 2, rest with purpose, right? This is crucial. Now, resting isn't a reward for finishing your work. It's part of the work cycle. Like I said, you could be a full-time student. You haven't pursued any journey or anything. You are on currently on the journey of entrepreneurship, but you're still thinking about that one business idea, or you're still in the planning phase. Just make sure that you understand that rest isn't like a reward. Rest with purpose. Take 8 hours of sleep. I sometimes regret it so much when I do not rest, right? Because, like I said, I will have like a crappy week, I know. And even when like I work late or I study late or I'm busy on my phone, I sleep at 12 a.m. I would tell myself, oh, tomorrow is about to be a long day for me. So always make sure that you rest with purpose and you understand. Schedule micro breaks throughout your day. It could be like taking a short walk, like I said, scrolling on your phone, just doing a scratch, or just being away from the screen. You can like have a chat if you're working at the office, you are alone, just like have a simple chat. I know nowadays we don't read magazines. I still do like read like a magazine. Do something. Just go to the mirror and just look at yourself, and then you know and try also a digital detox for a few hours each weekend. So where there's no emails, no business chat, and make sure that you protect this time. I know my Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., sometimes 2:30. I block my calendar. I call it the focus time, because that's for me. It's time for me to inhale and exhale so that I can provide the type of support that you guys want. Because if I'm miserable, I cannot do my job very well, right? Even for my clients, as somebody that has like a side hustle on the side, I do lashes for ladies. I sell some few stuff for people that live far, like in Joburg, I'm in Devon. I'm a runner as well. So I know that day when I'm happy, I'm good, I'm able to provide this top excellent service. But if I'm just like tired and exhausted, I'm not even going to be answering those messages. So make sure you have what you call a focused time. Focused time is for me is like taking a break from whatever it is that I'm about to do. So as a business owner, make sure that you also do it. You do that as well. So we call it the digital detox, right? And lastly, reflect for growth. I know most of us don't promote or don't even do reflection. reflecting is the most important. I feel like, I don't know how to say moral or key point in the journey of life per se. So end each week with just 10 minutes of reflection. Each week, each day, I think every day, just take 10 minutes, to do, let's call it the reflection time. Reflecting is not reflecting on the good, but also on the bad. So you ask yourself, what drained my energy this week? So you can do this every Sunday. What drained my energy this week? What gave me energy? What made me happy? What made me sad? Based on this one thing, what will I do differently? Right? For me, Sundays are the most quiet. Sunday for me is just like, Sundays are for lovers, Sundays are for myself, Sundays are for, a lot of things. And because that's the most quiet day of all the 7 days we have, Sundays for me are for reflection. And they determine the week that I'm going to have. So I don't know. Also, just choose one day, or each day, just take 10 minutes, but then on the last day of the week, just reflect on your week and see what you can also do better for yourself. Because remember, I said to you, you need to be aware that you are in the burnout phase and how you are going to improve yourself. All right. And then we also have some practical tools you can use for balancing your life. You don't have to figure this whole thing out alone, but because we are living in a digital world, you can use technology to also help you, not to control you, but to also help, advance your life. And, because as much as I've had conversations with a few students who are doing the digital entrepreneurship course, and they said to me, no, listen, I'm not ready to start my own entrepreneurship journey. I want to work for companies or agencies, right? And maybe it's currently the phases that they're in as much we do promote entrepreneurship, but I do highly respect people that say, listen, I know what I want to do, and what I want to do right now is gain as much work experience as I can, so that when I start to venture out, at least I know what to do, where to go, and how to handle stuff, right? So these are the tools that can help you with your journey. But make sure that it does not, because we know with AI and technology tends to control a lot of people. But yeah, so for time management, last week I told you can use Notion, you can do Todoist, you can do a simple Trello board, or you can just take like a piece of paper, guys, a piece of paper, and write your to-do things, so that everything is not on your brain. That's what I suffer from. That's why I always have my notes. Every day I write Wednesday, and then I know what to do. Everything is just like, so that everything does not look like it's a scribble. So for focus and mindfulness, apps like Forest to stay off on your phone, and there are many other apps that help you to take some time off away from the screen. Or you can use Trello board. Sorry, not Trello board. You can use Headspace for short guided mediations. So you can also use that as well. If you are a mediation person, you are a yoga person, just taking those breathe ins and out is totally up to you. For sleep and recovery, you can use Sleep Cycle that can help you understand your sleeping patterns. And then for accountability, lean on your IT varsity peer groups, right? If you are not on that WhatsApp group channel, I don't know, that exclusive BK exclusive group chat, you're losing out. If you're not on that channel, WhatsApp channel, please send me an email at noltando@itvarsity.org. The goal is for technology to serve you well and not to control it. All right. So these are the tools. And then now, from the burnout stage to the breakthrough, because the reason why we're doing this is so that we're able to understand and unpack everything and, build you better as a person before you can even outsource yourself to other people. So now here's the beautiful part. Breakthroughs don't come from working harder, they come from working wiser. Because after this, I'm not saying you're not going to be stressed. After this, I'm not saying you're not going to feel any burnouts. You are going to feel some burnouts, because obviously we humans, we have routines, we have our own ways, right? But now let's work wiser. So when you start protecting your rest, and you're very strict with that, your creativity spikes, right? Your focus then sharpens, and your real motivation returns. Because why? you have protected and prioritized your resting, your mental health, your mind, your body, and soul, then you realize everything will come back. I mean, even for people that go to the gym, right? This year, I think I was telling my colleague yesterday, I said, this, like, I started paying the gym since Jan. Like, I've been, like, paying. And I went maybe 5 times. And every time when I came back from the gym, that week, I knew that I was going to have, like, a beautiful week because now I've prioritized something within me, right? And even when I slept early at 7 p.m., because my alarm rings at 5 a.m. in the morning because I have to prep for my daughter. By 4:30, I'm already awake. I'm fresh. I want to start the day. I want to look good. I want to. But when I sleep around 11 p.m. and the alarm rings at 5 a.m., I sometimes even switch the alarm off, schedule for 10 minutes later, and then I would sleep and doze off. Because I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this day. I don't want to wake up. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. So protect your rest so that your creativity can spike, everything can come back, and your brain will start functioning very well. Trust me. Some of your best business ideas won't come when you are looking at your screen. They'll come when you're rested, walking in nature, or cooking dinner. That moment where you're just sitting alone, you're watching like your favorite series on Netflix, an idea will come off and say, yes, oh yeah, makes sense. This is what I wanted to do. So I don't think I find inspiration when I'm looking at my laptop or, most of my ideas, it's either I am looking at something, I'm thinking about something, I'm cooking, or, oh yes, no, why can't I start like a mobile kitchen because I can actually cook. And that's an idea that comes off when I was in the kitchen. So you don't have to be constantly staring at your screen to find an idea. This goes back to rest, find something to do. Because that's when your brain can actually think. Because when you're constantly working, then it won't make sense for your brain to also give you what you want because you are overusing it, right? Your subconscious mind needs also some space to do what? To connect the dots. So a breakthrough doesn't start with another late night, it starts with balance. For myself, like I said, I am a part-time student and I'm also working at IT varsity. If you've been in my house, on the side of the fridge, there's like these notes. I have my timetable, my study notes. It's just like a mess. I always say it looks like a mess. But that mess helps me balance both my study and work life. And I'm not saying it's easy. Trust me, some days I can't even study because I am to the core. Remember, we hosted the FNB. I was always tired to a point where I just was like, when is the this whole thing ending so that I can go back to myself because my body was already sending me signals to say, no, you are overusing me, right? But along the way, I was able to find something that's going to work for me. And the one thing I did was make sure I sleep early so that tomorrow I'm ready to assist over 200,000 students and give them the right type of support I would want if maybe I was part of the App Academy. So now, how does IT Varsity and the CDE course support you? And this is why this certificate in digital entrepreneurship is important. It isn't just about technical skills, but it's actually also about building a sustainable mindset, right? We read these principles into the program, teaching you how to structure your projects efficiently and how to avoid overwhelm, manage your time and energy for the long haul, and build the resilience needed so that you actually succeed. Because that's the whole point, I believe. And if you can note this, entrepreneurship isn't a sprint, it isn't a marathon. It's a journey. You say, well, you don't really say it's a journey of life. It's something that's constantly, because I don't think that old guy, that I don't know his name, that opened KFC said when he started this franchise, he didn't say, I'm going to open maybe this place called KFC in Texas. He said it would be big, even though he wasn't sure whether it was going to be big in all continents that we have in the world, right? Maybe he thought America only, but he thought like America, the entire America. So it's a journey. That's what I just wanted to say. And we want to make sure that you have the right endurance for the finishing, the end. And on top of that, you are very strong. You can handle things. Because some people really do give up, not because of financial reasons, or it's just because themselves they can't cope. That's why some entrepreneurs even sell their businesses because they're like, cut, right? So here's a simple challenge for you this week. We're about to end our webinar. Here's a simple challenge. It's nothing much, but it's simple and powerful. Just pick one area to rest, right? It could be getting 7 hours of sleep, 8 hours, 5 hours, something that it's not the norm for you. Or it could be taking a proper lunch break away from your desk, or a Sunday screen detox. Remember, I said Sundays are my favorite. Just Sunday, just rest. After the family dinner, supper, lunch, take time off, right? So just pick one area that you're going to rest. Protect that commitment, right? Like it's the most important thing on your calendar. Just for this week, just try it once. And remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. And sometimes your cup gets empty and it needs to be filled. Or you need to pour to other people's cup, but you can't be pouring if your cup is empty. What are you pouring if your own cup is empty? So take that cup that you are busy pouring onto other people and pour it on your own cup. All right. Your best ideas, your strongest performances, and your biggest growth all comes from a rested and balanced you. And it's you guys are fortunate that we're going through this. We're talking about these things that actually happen on this journey, on academic journeys and entrepreneurship journey. We are training you. We are training you so that you understand that these things are what you guys will go through. But you now, because you are part of the IT varsity family, you are now going to be able to identify and how to work through that, right? So make sure that you prioritize your mental health, your well-being, yourself. Make sure that you take care of yourself. Every time when you guys send me email to say you guys are not well, the first thing I say, please take care of yourself, right? Because I'm saying it from sincerity and genuinely saying it because I know that when you don't take care of yourself, even if externally doesn't show, internally you'll be going through it. And I will not be there when you're sleeping and you having pain, regretting, why didn't I sleep? That moment where you sleep at 12, let's say 11 p.m. in the morning, you wake up, you feel regret. You go through that all alone. I'm not there. But now you'll be able to spot that, solve and how to put a stop to it, and then find balance and rest, because rest does equal to success. A balanced life does equal to success. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for today. I think I have come to the end of the webinar. If you guys have anything you want to say, maybe it's just like your reflections, anything you want to share with me that I can read on the comments, particularly also with just today's webinar, our mental health, any advices you guys can give and share with us, something that's worked out for you, please just share it on the chats and then let us know, right? So that we can, share it amongst ourselves. What's the one thing that helps you to, balance everything out? Any experiences that you guys can also share. Let me see if I see that. Okay, so Brian said, last Saturday I didn't bother with anything. Brian, you are living my dream. Like, that's currently my dream. That's why I said I cannot wait for the first of season so that I can rest, guys. I haven't rested like this year. Siposetu says, every Friday I make sure to rest. Even on my working days, I've learned to slow down. I notice that I work better when I am calm. Me, you same, sis. Me, you same. That's why my Sundays are important. Guys, I am such a bubbly person when like I'm good. Like my soul is fed. I am happy, my mood, I'm calm. Like I'm the most bubbliest person you chat with. So yeah, take care of you. internally, externally, make sure that you guys are, giving yourself, pouring into your own cups, right? Take care of your mental health, take care of you, because life does get exhausting in its own. Now imagine you are doing this thing called life, and now you are busy learning, studying, making job, hustling, grinding, and stress after stress after stress. But now we're gonna tone it down so that you become a better person and a better business entrepreneur. All right. So yeah, guys, let me love and leave you. I will see you guys. Thank you so much, Biovete. Thank you so much. Okay, Yusuf, I see that high notes hand after this webinar, please. Okay, Yusuf, Yusuf, you have my email address. Send me an email address. I'll give you my number, then we can chat. We can do like a WhatsApp call. Okay, Caesar says, thank you so much for a very informative session. Sometimes we tend to believe that not getting enough sleep will make you or give you more success. That's what we believe in. But honestly, I don't think it works that way for most of us. Like I said, I've seen people that got admitted to the psych ward because of their busy grinding, right? So yeah, Yusuf, just send me an email. You have my email, and then I'll send you my WhatsApp number, and then we'll do like a call. I see some comments. Natalie says, thank you for the reminder of the importance of mental rest. I will surely implement this. And then next week when you come back, we'll see whether people did rest or not. I think for this week, for myself, let me see this weekend, guys, I just want to like take a break from everything. Like, I haven't created content in months because why? I've been busy, right? So I just want to go back to my Zoom and just do me. So do you guys, but also just make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And yeah, if there's anything else, guys, you might need to remember that this session is recorded. It will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. If you are not on Slack, you are not on our WhatsApp group chat, BK's exclusive group chat for the CDE students, drop me an at itvarsity.org, and I will definitely respond to you. If there's any other thing you might need from IT Varsity, please let us know. But yeah, guys, I will see you guys same place, same time next week, Wednesday, for another webinar series where we'll be continuing with this entrepreneurship journey. Make sure you guys are sharing those links on YouTube. And if you know people that are supposed to be on this webinar, they're not, tell them that they're missing out. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. I will see you guys next week. Bye. Hi.